Okay, guys, welcome to the call tonight, the webinar. A little background on why I'm doing this and why I'm so excited about it. First of all, I'm in Florida, and it's about 40 degrees, and I'm standing outside with no jacket on, freezing my bottom off because we just went to dinner. So if I start shaking and my teeth start chattering, I apologize. But I was in Houston this week and met with Mike McCormick. He is a Blue Diamond in Montevideo, one of the Montevideo millionaires. He's been in the business about 6 years and has just done a great job here with this Jeep program and with the Fast Start bonus money. And he and I were talking, and I just got real excited hearing about the momentum he has, hearing about the things that he's doing to grow his business, to see his business up 80%, but overall 40%. He'll explain a little bit about what that means, but 80% with people getting in and buying in bulk, and then 40% overall growth with where it's going. And I think every one of us right now on this call, we're leaders. I did not send this out to the whole group. I sent it out to select people that I wanted on the call that I know can go take this information in the right way and disseminate it amongst your team for the people that can hear it, understand it, and take it then and disseminate it even further down into their groups. It's not something that needs to be taught to the masses because there's some things in this teaching tonight that are specific for different segments of people. And it's nothing crazy. It's no gimmicks. It's no smoke and mirrors. It's true growth in the business. And it just excited me that I wanted everyone to hear it. And I'm going to start applying it to my people I'm putting into the business. And so that's what I want from everyone on this call tonight, is to be able to go take all this information, get excited about it, and grow. Mike will be telling you a little bit about all the rank advancements he's seen since the launch of the Jeep program and why it's so important that if we all want this kind of momentum into our business, that we run with it and that we start not waiting anymore, not waiting for, the company's going to come out with this and that's what I'm going to go do. And as soon as they get this, that's what I'm going to go do. But imagine right now if everyone on this call and everyone I selected on this call, I truly believe between now and Atlanta or Las Vegas, can go diamond or start popping diamonds into the business. Imagine your lesser leg right now doing 500 points in weekly volume, and at the end of this week, the start of this week, that your volume is now over 20,000. Mike's going to share with you how that happened for people on his team and how in 1 week's time they were able to go qualify diamond, but then not just do it in 1 week, but do it all 3 weeks, go diamond, and have serious rank advancements in his team. And it's legitimate volume now that is backed by auto ships, and that's what we all need is the auto ships. That's the foundation of all of our business. So, Mike, I'm going to turn it over to you. And guys, just one more thing on Mike. He's not in my team. He's not in my downline. He's cross-line from me, and I've never done this before other than with Steve Merritt. I've never allowed anyone to come in and speak to my group, but I trust this guy. I believe what he's doing is right, and I believe it's something that we can all implement into our groups. So, Mike, if you would, take it over and start sharing with everybody what's going on and how we can blow this up together as a team with Montevideo.
Well, hey, thank you so much, Corbin. That was an overly generous introduction. You guys, if you're on Corbin's team, you're lucky to be in the business with Corbin and Holly. They're outstanding leaders. I've admired them not only from a distance, but got to visit their house and got to kind of absorb some of the things that they're teaching their people, and the heart that they put into this business is truly inspiring. And the fact that I got to have Corbin at my house a couple of times now, and the fact that we do things together demonstrates that the whole MVP program and philosophy of all of us being under one umbrella is something that's really cool. We don't have to be connected at the cash register to help one another. And by helping one another, all of our businesses grow. And so tonight, I'm pleased to share with you some of the things that have happened in our business that have been generated by a true partnership with the Montevideo Corporation. In some businesses, you've got the manufacturing segment and you've got the distribution segment, and never the twain shall meet. They don't necessarily cooperate as much as they would like to, and one's trying to make money and the other one's expense, but that's not the case with Montevideo and its distributorship base. I was talking to Corbin earlier, and he indicated initially that he was going to have predominantly nothing but leaders on the phone that are very experienced people, and then he later said that there might be a couple of new people on the phone too. And so this might come at a new person like it's drinking out of a fire hose. It comes out pretty fast. However, I think that you'll kind of get the gist of it. And for the experienced builder, or perhaps the builder who's been working for a little bit but not quite got their stride yet, let me give you just a little bit of history about kind of where we are and how we got here. When Monavie started, it had three founders, Dallin Larson, Henry Marsh, and Randy Larson. And Dallin and Henry kind of set the pace pretty hard. And when those guys went out, they're visionaries. They're the type of people who cast a great vision and then try to accomplish it. And those are the kind of people you want in your company getting started. And just like Bill Gates is a visionary for Microsoft or Steve Jobs for Apple, after a period of time, they hopefully realize that maybe somebody pulling the levers and the switches might be different than the person who cast that great vision. And so Dallin Larson was humble enough to realize that maybe he's a little bit better at the great visions, and maybe we need somebody that can pull the levers and the switches a little bit better. And so at the first of the year, they hired a guy named Mauricio Ballera. And Mauricio Ballera is a very experienced CEO in this industry. And he's very experienced with pay plans. He's very experienced with how businesses can grow in a sustainable way. And he looked at the Monavie pay plan and said, this is pretty good stuff. Some people who are real go-getters can really take off and run with this. But people who really want some fast impact money into their business, it's not going to be achievable under this pay plan, so let's see if we can enhance it and make it better. And he set about with his North America team to come up with some recommendations that would really enhance what we're doing. And kind of the two components that he looked at was one kind of an optical component. What if we had a car program? Mary Kay has been Cadillac. What if we had a car program? And what kind of car would personify the kind of company that we want to be? And look here, we've got Jeeps. Jeeps are adventurous. They're exciting. The fun people occupy Jeeps. And this is the kind of program that we want as far as our vehicle program. And then secondarily, his team came up with the idea of some really good income at the front end of the plan. And so this program that we're going to discuss tonight focuses primarily on that really good front-end money in the plan. It was announced in a conference call the first Monday of August, which is when we always do our organizational calls. And in that first Monday, it was offered to people on the call, if you want to sign up for this thing, we'd like to really kick it out and get it started so that by Labor Day weekend, when we have our international convention, we can have the giving away of a handful of Jeeps. We hope to give away 6 or 7 Jeeps at that, and people can stand up and say, hey, I want a Jeep, and you can too. And we just did this before the program was even launched. We achieved the qualifications necessary to accomplish a Jeep. And there was a guy on our team who happens to be on the call tonight. I've see that he's logged in, Jim Minio, and he looked at this 1.5% bonus pool and said, gosh, this is really generous. And he's a terrific strategist. And he, along with Colombo and Karen DeSalvatore and the team of people in that leg of business, said, if we focus on this 1.5% bonus pool, the Jeep qualifications overlap, that'll likely take care of itself. Now, when Corbin mentioned a few minutes ago that we've had some rank advancements, I'll just give you some examples of things that had happened by focusing on that 1.5% bonus pool. Jim and Sandy were qualified rubies on July 31st. And during the month of August, by focusing on this bonus pool and by focusing on the kinds of things that the corporation has provided all of us to do, they achieved the rank of diamond by the convention. That's, in other words, skipping emerald and going straight to diamond. And the week after the convention, they hit blue diamond. Colombo and Karen hit purple diamond that following week as well. And there were other people who did really, really well, too. All in all, during the month of August, we had rank advancements. We had the purple diamond, the blue diamond, the diamond that I'll explain to you in just a moment about her story. We had an emerald, 3 rubies, 21 golds, 14 silvers, 7 bronzes, and a bunch of stars and star 500s. And so all that happened in the month of August. Now, when we looked at that, I said, wow, how could that be? Well, it's because a strategy that we'll discuss tonight really worked. and it worked really, really well. And so I'm making a few assumptions by virtue of this call tonight, and a couple of the assumptions are these. First, that this audience consists of experienced Monavie distributors interested in rapid rank advancements for their own distributors and downline, because this business is all about helping other people. And the second assumption is that this audience consists of experienced Monavie distributors seeking to maximize Jeep qualifications for distributorships. I mentioned the rank advancements that took place during the month of August. That they wanted to go into, the corporation wanted to go into the Labor Day convention with 6 or 7 Jeeps being offered, and they had another Jeep that they were kind of so-called raffling it off based on iPad qualifications and so forth. And so they wanted to trumpet that. Well, by focusing on the squaring and the 1.5% bonus pool, there were actually 30 Jeeps given away at the convention, and 23 of them came from the leg that focused on this 1.5% bonus pool that we're going to be talking about tonight. So this isn't something that you're experimenting with your group. This is something that if you choose to adopt it, and I want you to counsel upline, I want you to talk to all the people that you normally trust in this business. As Corbin indicated, we're not connected to the cash register. We have a great working relationship, and he's a terrific guy. Holly's a wonderful human being, and I trust them very, very much. I presume they trust me or we wouldn't be having this conversation. And that having been said, even in spite of that, be sure you talk to your upline and you all are on the same page, because you want to do things consistent with whatever the team approach is that you're using. But I don't think what we're going to talk about tonight is anything that's inconsistent with what you want or inconsistent with these assumptions. The only reason I bring up these assumptions is because it might be a lot of information coming at you. And it's probably not the kind of thing, if you're a brand new person, you wouldn't tell all of this to a brand new person, not because you're trying to conceal anything from them, but because you're just going to want to overwhelm them. The line to the new person is, hey, if you go out and get 4 people, I can get you a check somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000, and you can have your Christmas paid for, or you can reduce the stress associated with the holidays, or whatever their why is. So you don't have to explain all this to them, but you in your mind need to know that this is a strategy that really works and something that you can take advantage of. So when the corporation came out with the bonus pool, they looked back and said, okay, what activities do people engage in that are successful in this business? And let's figure out a way that we can reward people who engage in those activities that accompany those who've been successful. And one activity was the activity of placing a significant initial first order. And why is that? Well, we've been through this business. Those who have been in here, Corbin said, in 6 years, I've been about 5 years, but nonetheless, it doesn't take more than a year or two to see that if you put somebody in on 100 points as a distributor, they drink all their profit, they don't have anything to share with anybody else, and so they can't grow their business very well in the first month. Linda and I, when we got in, we placed a 12-case bulk order. We had a dozen people over to the house on the second day of our business experience with Monavie. 9 of them signed in, and we were off to the races. Those 9 sign-ups resulted in our first week checks of, now brace yourself, I hope you're sitting down, here it comes, big numbers, $297. The second week was a little more than that, the third week a little more than that, and the fourth week was a little more than that. And by the end of the fourth week, we had recovered our initial investment, $1,000. I said, wow, that's awesome. And I'm a lawyer, and when I bought into my law firm, it cost